So when we look at shoulder dysfunction and shoulder discomfort, a huge contributor to that is the functionality of your rib cage. And I've talked about this in the video, but this is where we are going to work on, I know this sounds crazy, but going backwards, right? That doesn't mean anything in the grand scheme of things until we start to provide some context to it. So in the intro video, you saw me really kind of over-exaggerating the flare in the ribs. If you lay on your back and the first thing that you see is your ribs just jutting out to the ceiling, that's an indication that we are stuck in a position that we can't get out of. And posture is a fluid, moving thing. You can't be, I guess the thought is that there's no such thing as bad posture, just posture you can't get out of. And when you can't get out of a position, you're stuck, and trying to move from that stuck position, you just end up compensating. Those compensations end up causing pain, right? So what we want to try to do is improve your ability to sense that something is happening that's different from what you've been doing, specifically in regards to your rib cage. So we're going to use the ground for this. So just like in our cat-cow, if you've done our spine section already, we are going to find flexion. And not just flexion like this. We are going to tuck our pelvis underneath, right? We're going to start from that position. Then what I want you to think about is you're going to walk your hands out in front of you slightly. And then you're going to pull yourself towards your hands, just enough that you feel your abs come on. And so right away, there should be some sort of sensation at the bottom of the front side of your rib cage. We want to close this front door, and we want to raise this side of our rib cage towards the ceiling. Neck is relaxed, not flexed overly, and not extended. We are pulling ourselves gently forward so you feel those abs come on. Right? If you're feeling your neck a ton, you can back off that pressure a little bit, because I want you to notice abs. I don't want you to feel neck. First breath, I don't care how it happens, but exhale fully. Get all that air out. I want a silent breath in. And then a big exhale. As you exhale out, push the ground away a little bit more. You're reaching through the ground, but you're driving your upper back and the base of your rib cage towards the ceiling. Breathe in, out. In, out. In, out. Oh. Okay, a couple things that happen when you do this the first time. It's going to feel like by the last one, you can't breathe as freely. If that's what you were feeling, that's totally normal. That silent breath in, that slow, you don't want to gasp. We want to. And if you notice in that video, what you saw, as I breathed in, you can see my whole rib cage inflate like a balloon. We're not looking at belly going down towards the ground. We're looking at the air going up and back in our rib cage to really inflate the upper lobes of our lungs and work on using that to stretch out the backside of our rib cage. What you should notice, if we did this right, is that your resting posture now is already better, right? We can use our shoulder cars to reassess how that feels, because again, if you did this right, that should change. Even if it's just slightly, alarm bells will be less. It should feel free, more relaxed. And you might even notice some of the tight hips are gone, because everything is tied together. The better your rib cage works, the better your pelvis works. The better your pelvis works, the less sensation there is negatively in your hips. So simple, but not, let's say simple but not easy. Repeat this 4 times a day if this is something you got a lot out of. right? If it's something you're still struggling with, you can send me a message. I can put a different module in front of you, a different position, because again, there's no one perfect universal position for everyone. This is just the position I use to introduce this concept to people, right? Hope that helped.